Hello, and welcome back to our Squad Leader tutorial series. This is volume 2 in our vehicle series. In this volume, we are going to keep using our Tiger 1 tank to show how to navigate the advanced Squad Leader battlefield and how to engage targets. For this video, we will start with the tank in V6. It is the German movement phase. Vehicles spend movement points as opposed to movement factors. Because they spend MPs instead of MFs, they must spend a point to start and stop. So before this vehicle can move, the German player spends a point to start. So in the hex, the player would say start for 1. Now he can move the vehicle into either of the hexes that are inside the hull covered arc. In this case, the tank can move into U7 or U6. To see what it would cost in MP to enter the hex is determined by the type of terrain our Tiger tank is entering. To do this, we have to consult the terrain chart. By following the row for open ground, we go to the fully tracked column because the Tiger tank is fully tracked due to the oval behind the movement points. In this case, it will cost 1 MP to enter either hex. He could also turn the vehicle 1 hex blind in either direction for 1 MP. Now let's assume the German player turned the vehicle to the V7 U7 covered arc by turning it and saying 2. Now the tank can move to either U7 or V7. He moves into V7 and says 3. He then goes into U8 for 4. He continues now to U9 for 5. In hex U9, he turns to the U10 V9 covered arc for 6. And then he could stop there for a total of 7 MPs at this point. At this point, he could start the tank for 8, fire its guns at a target, or end the movement phase there. Now let's take our target tank through some tougher paces. To start with, we will use road movement. To do this, we have to take our tank commander out in the open, so he gets a better view of the road. We have to spend 1 MP to start in the hex, so the vehicle starts in that hex. Now to go to the next road hex, it will only cost 1/2 of an MP. So the German player would move the counter down the road and say 1.5. Then he would travel into the next hex and say 2, then 2.5, then 3, and then 3.5, etc. If the tank commander goes back into the tank, the movement cost per hex would go back up to 1 MP. As a note, a tank can crew expose or button up during the movement phase, but not both. If he starts buttoned up, he can go crew exposed, but then cannot go back, and vice versa. Now, we will go up a hill in the open ground. Now, like usual, we have to start the tank for 1. We move forward for 2. Now we can go up the hill in either hex. Now to figure this out, we need to go back to the terrain chart. The tank is going up a level, so you have to go to that row which shows it costs 4 MP to go up a level. Then you look at the hill column, and it says DOT, which means dependent on terrain. If the tank goes straight up the hill in the hex without the brush, it would cost 4 MP plus the cost of terrain. The terrain is open ground, so it would cost 1 more for a total of 5 to enter that hex. If the tank goes here, then the total movement so far would be 7. If the tank decided to go into the hex with the brush, it would cost 6 MP, 4 for going uphill, and 2 for going in the hex with the brush. So total movement at this point would be 8 MP. Continuing forward would cost 1 more MP for a total of 9. Now the tank can go down the hill for 1 MP for a total of 10, and stop for an additional MP total of 11. This finishes our second volume on vehicles and Advanced Squad Leader. I hope you found that helpful. Please remember that this is only an introduction to help you build enough confidence to dive in and enjoy this great game. Play the game and don't worry about making mistakes. Try to learn from a more experienced player and possibly go to one of the ASL tournaments throughout the country, like the New York State ASL Championships in Albany, New York, or the Norista in Massachusetts. If you like this and our other videos, like us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to contact me at jdhobbies@live.com. And like always, thanks for watching.